your host from Motorweek 91, John Davis.
Well, hello and welcome again to Motorweek 91. We're glad to have you with us. There are Ferraris and then there are Ferraris. Most are two-seaters. But for nearly 11 years, the most consistent seller in the Ferrari range has been its only four-seaters, the Mondial Coupe and Cabriolet. Now, most American buyers have preferred the convertible. So at the beginning of this year, Ferrari decided to stop importing the hardtop Mondial. Well, being the hardcore Ferrari fans that we are, we couldn't let the Mondial Coupe leave without a proper send-off. So we secured one of the last Mondial Coupes to enter the country and took it to Roebling Road Raceway for a goodbye that we won't soon forget. The styling of the Ferrari Mondial Coupe, indeed of most Ferraris, is best described as timeless. The Pininfarina penned lines still look fresh after 11 years and have influenced the design of sports cars from Detroit to Tokyo. The latest variation to wear the Mondial name is designated the T. The T stands for transverse transmission. What this means is that the Mondial's transmission has been moved from below the engine to behind the rear axle line and rotated 90 degrees, the same as in the 348. This allowed Ferrari engineers to lower the 300 horsepower 32-valve V8 engine a full 5 inches. The intention being to lower the car's center of gravity and improve weight distribution, with better handling as the end result. And the T does handle very well, though not in the manner that a hardcore Ferrari driver might expect. On a beautiful day at Georgia's Roebling Road Raceway, the Mondial exhibited more predictable behavior than its two-seat relatives, pushing gently into a corner and announcing its intention to oversteer well in advance. It also rolls much more in corners, betraying its softer touring side. This despite having Ferrari's first adjustable suspension system. Flick a dash-mounted switch, and the valving in the Mondial's Bilstein shocks adjust to either a stiff handling mode or a softer touring feel. But even on the harder of its two suspension settings, the Mondial T does not have the nervous feel of the 348. Though it's hardly a luxury sedan, the heavy steering requires a firm hand, and if a careless driver pushes it too hard, it will bite back as hard as any other Ferrari. But unlike any other Ferrari, the Mondial T is a true touring car, able to eat up long stretches of highway without pounding its driver to death. That is, as long as the driver fits into the cockpit. Ferraris have never been noted for their sterling ergonomics, and the Mondial, even with last year's completely new interior, is no exception. As much as we enjoy the sound and feel of driving the Mondial, we must admit that these are some of the least comfortable seats that we have ever planted our collective butts in. They face a comprehensive set of large analog gauges. The shorter drivers on the staff adored them, while the taller ones griped about the steering wheel position, which blocked half of the cluster even with its tilt adjustment. To be fair, however, this is one of the most organized dash layouts ever seen in a car from Maranello. Only the 348 is better. Controls are actually organized by function and well marked. Naturally, if you are used to the hospital-like cleanliness of, say, a Japanese car, this bit of Italian anarchy will still unsettle you. But then you take a Ferrari for what it is. If you don't like it, buy an NSX. The Mondial's 5-speed manual shifter, with its gates and European reverse pattern, requires a firm, precise shove into each gear. It engages with the solid mechanical sound one expects from an Italian gearbox. Rear seat room is 2+2 tight, as expected, and the seats are as uncomfortable as those in front. But you can impress 3 small people with a ride in your Mondial, 2 more than in any other Ferrari. And you can even carry some luggage, though the compact trunk is hardly sufficient for cargo times 4. The Mondial Coupe was the least expensive Ferrari, costing $88,000. The surviving Cabriolet will run a buyer $109,950. But while relatively inexpensive, the Coupe still runs like any other Ferrari. Lay into the gas and the car responds with a 0 to 60 time of 6.6 seconds. The quarter mile takes 15 seconds, ending at 98 miles per hour. High rev launches are a necessity since the engine is strongest in the middle and upper part of its power band. But once up to steam, it pulls as hard as anything on the road. It stops very well too, with big ABS-equipped disc brakes yanking it down from 60 in an average distance of 105 feet. The plentiful pedal feel and firm control were much appreciated on the twisting Roebling circuit, especially when entering the tight confines of Turn 1 at speeds that sometimes exceeded 130 miles per hour. But raw speed is not the essence of a car like the Mondial. Plenty of other cars will go as fast, but none with the sound and feel of the prancing horse. But while the rest of the world continues to enjoy the Mondial Coupe, affluent Americans will have to be content with the more expensive cabriolet. Perhaps someday the hardtop Mondial will again return to American shores. But even if it doesn't, we will treasure the memories of clear skies, a beautiful car, and a fast track for years to come.